Well, welcome everyone. We are so excited. This is Monday evening, April the 3rd, 2017, and this is our Monday evening GBO training call. Our focus this evening is going to, as usual, try to help you focus and get your week started right. And the subject matter of tonight's call is going to be what we focus on changes. You know, after 17 years in the industry, Lloyd and I commonly refer to a quote that, as best we know, has been attributed to Socrates. And the quote goes like this: "The secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new." And doesn't that ring clear in every one of our ears? Hasn't it been your experience in the past that what you focus on changes? Guys, I can tell you that this goes back as far as the year 2000 for Lloyd and Denise Stevens, because our journey in the multi-level marketing arena all stemmed from just staying just over broke in our lives. We were working around the clock. We were working day in and day out to try to get ahead, and things were not adding up. It was the year 1999, and many of you can think back and you can relate to, remember all the hype and all the focus generating around Y2K, all of the marketing and all of the preparation that each of us needed to take because our lives were going to come to a standstill because we were crossing into the 2000-year mark. So this just brings and resonates so much in my mind. And being sick and tired of being sick and tired, Lloyd and I were introduced to the multi-level marketing arena on Sunday night, March the 5th of 2000. Now, because that's all that I can go on in terms of my life journey, I want you to ask yourself, what is it in your life that you want to change? And if you don't focus on where you want to go, how far are you going to get toward that end? And there is something, guys, that I'm going to read to you this evening, and perhaps it will reach you or perhaps someone you know. And it is a brief paragraph focused on corporate enslavement. And you have to understand that that is exactly where my life was. And what I want you to focus on here is not so much my life, but on those that you're walking side by side. Many of you are getting up tomorrow morning, just like you did this morning, and you're leaving your children, you're leaving your spouse, you're going to a job that you don't want to be at, and your focus is to get home as quick as you can. Now, all throughout the day, you're trying to do as little as you can, and your employer wants you to do as much as you can, and you're trying to make as much as you can, doing as little as you can for as long as you can get by with it. Okay? It is an upside-down proposition. And what this industry does is free us if we focus on what we want to change. So this goes back to July the 30th, 2003, when one of my mentors along my journey wrote this paragraph, and it rang volumes, and it still rings in my ear today. And I can tell you this, that I can remember the trip that we had earned to Maui, Hawaii in February 2001. I'd been in the industry about 11 months, and I can remember flying in Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. We took a red-eye flight from Maui, Hawaii. After spending a week there, flew over Highway 183, which is on the south end of Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. And there was nothing but a sea of red lights at 6:55 a.m. And as I looked at that sea of red lights coming in on that early bird flight, I thought to myself, all of these people cannot be so excited to get to a job where they can try to work as little as they can for as long as they can get by with it. They just don't know a better way. So here goes the paragraph toward corporate enslavement. And as I read this, I want you to think about all of the people that are, as Stephen Thomas says, too afraid to retire because of lack of funds to pay for insurance, going to a job just because of insurance, and all of the people that would love to be stay-at-home moms and wave at all of the people as they go by their home, like Lloyd and Denise Stevens have done over the last 17 years. On the Dallas freeways each morning, tens of thousands of cars jam the main transportation system as people roll into the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex toward their jobs. That same scenario could be seen in every city in America, which has given rise to the phrases rush hour and traffic jam. Office buildings are filled with men and women who are paid a sum of money for performing narrowly defined specific duties that contribute toward the financial success of the corporate entity. Each employee of each company has one function, and that is to bring his or her skill to the office for 40 hours each week in order to make a contribution to the collective good. If the fortunes of the company become unstable and more money is flowing out than is flowing in, it's the employees and their drain on the company money through salaries and benefits, hence insurance and vacation pay. These people are looked as to a way of cutting overhead costs so that the company might remain solvent. Consequently, dozens, hundreds, and even thousands of people are called in to a supervisor or manager's office and told that their services are no longer needed. From the employee's perspective, however, his or her income is still much needed to pay the bills because employees, like the company, have overhead expenses, and the overhead is not going to decline or end just because the man or woman has lost his or her source of income. In today's economy, the plight of the worker is made even more challenging. Finding a match between individual skills and corporate need, where the salary will remain the same, can be a highly difficult assignment. Now, all of this is not an attempt to condemn businesses for being heartless and driven by greed at the potential expense of people who serve the businesses by working there. That is among the risks taken by those who function in a capitalistic society. It is the market, the economy, the success of the enterprise, and the bottom line profit and loss statement of the corporation that often determines the fortunes and the opportunities and the life and the lifestyle of the people. It's unfortunate that people are often left without jobs and incomes, but that's one of the potential risks inherited by those who choose to lease their skills to a corporate entity in exchange for the safety and security of a job and benefits. The title of this quote is called Corporate Enslavement. This quote suggests a sort of ugliness on the part of American businesses that I don't wish to convey. My point in using this term is that from the employee point of view, it would appear that business owners, stockholders, and corporate officers are insensitive to the needs and wants of people, especially when good people, capable people, and loyal and dedicated people are terminated after decades of service to a company. The issue here is not the leaders in the company. It is the followers in the company who expose themselves to the possibility of financial and occupational disaster by acting as though they had no other choice but to be enslaved and exposed. Someone once said, the worst thing about slavery is that after a while, the slaves begin to enjoy it. That could be said for many people who work in the corporate world, couldn't it? They are aware of the inherent risks, and they willingly accept those risks. But in the process, and in most cases, they denounce the option they have for designing a plan B while they still have a plan A. If that's you, and while you still have your job, or as I just referred to, your plan A, why wouldn't you get dead serious about taking full advantage of your Global Rescue Direct opportunity and begin building a plan B? If you never lose your job, you'll have what could be a very significant supplemental income. And if you do lose your job, you're not going to find yourself in panic mode from which you may never fully escape. Friends, is this not powerful? I can tell you this. This was said to me in the year 2003. And here we are 14 years later, and it still rings in my ears as if it were yesterday. I refuse to work for someone else who does not pay my bills nor care about my family. I want my plan B. I have my plan B, and so do you. So what are you going to do with it? Like we started off the conversation, what you focus on changes. Does it not? I can tell you this. I will make a public quote and a public goal to each one of you this Monday night, April the 3rd, 2017. By the closing of business on Sunday night, April the 9th, 2017, Lloyd and Denise Stevens will have 2 new GBOs or a combination of GBOs for customers. Why? Because what we focus on changes. So what are you going to focus on? Where you are or where you're going? I can assure you, if we will go right back to where we started with our quote from Socrates, the secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. We have it right in the palm of our hand. It's called total care. Let's go build it. And when we build it, they will come. I hope you guys get it. I hope you have a fantastic week. And remember, at the end of the day, what you focus on changes. Get your focus right, and let's go take this to the world. Take care, everybody. Good night, and God bless.